Hello everybody, welcome to my live. I'm Laura Roderick. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas. And I go live just about every Tuesday and make fun cards. So thank you for joining me. I've got some really fun cards tonight. We're going to use a little bit different of a technique, so that should be good. I also have prizes to give away tonight, so I'm excited about that. Okay, there we are. We're all set. Sounds good. All right, trying to think what's new. I like to talk about the weather because weather's kind of a big deal. Nice, we're back to kind of summer, although it was crazy windy today. I know other places in Texas, especially Dallas, had a lot of wind too. Hi, Lisa. So super windy. We had kind of the fire warning all day, and there was actually a brush fire in southern San Antonio. I know they did evacuate some people, but I think they got it under control. I haven't really heard an update. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. Otherwise, the weather's been nice, except for today being a little weird. Let's see, anything else new? I can't really think of anything. Let's talk about prizes, shall we? So let's start with our weekly prize. So every week, I like to give away a prize if you share or comment on one of my videos, either on Facebook or YouTube. Hi, Sharon. And so what I was giving away this week was this packet of Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. And these are very, you can see how shimmery they are. They're very pretty, nice colors. So the winner from this week is Renee. So Renee, congratulations. I will put that in the mail for you. What I'm going to give away this next week, do you guys have these already? These are awesome. I'm like so in love with these. These are the antique pearls, and they're kind of flat and they're kind of creamy colored and iridescent, and they are absolutely beautiful. So if you'd like to win these, all you have to do is comment or share my video, and I thank everyone who does that. I really appreciate it. It helps me and it's fun because I get to see where you're from and talk to you guys, and I just love it. Okay, so the other thing, and I won't turn my camera around yet, is I was doing a prize giveaway. Now this prize giveaway was all during celebration, so that was from when it started, which was January 7th until February 28th. And if you placed a $50 order with me, you got an entry. If you placed a $100 order, you got 2 entries. So you got an entry for, thanks for sharing, entry for every $50 you spent in my Stampin' Up! Store. So then I put everybody's entries into, I usually do a little spinner on my phone, but I wasn't sure how that was going to work out, so I actually had to do little tickets and just pull tickets out. So I'm going to start with, I'll start with the biggest prize. So the first place prize was the machine. So it's the mini Stampin' Cut machine. And I pulled the one over. This is what it looks like. This is not it. This is mine, but the one I have is still in the box, ready to be shipped. So if you have it, and you might have it already, give it to a friend, share with someone, or keep one for on the go. Sometimes you like to craft on the go, right? So the winner of the machine is Donna, Germany. Okay, Donna, I have your address. Obviously, everyone who ordered, I have your address, right? So I'll put that in the mail to you. The next prize I had was the bundle, and that's right here. So this was the More Than Autumn bundle, so stamp and die set that I was giving away. And the winner of that prize was Rosemarie Schmidt. So Rosemarie, congratulations. I'll be sending you this bundle. Put that somewhere where I'm not going to forget. And then lastly, my third prize was this fabulous collapsible scrap bin, which is super fun. You can take it with you again because it collapses. Stick it in your little pouch or whatever you have to go crafting with, right? And also this really beautiful Stampin' Up! Mouse pad. And the winner of this prize was Lisa Sharkey. So, congratulations. Thank you so much, Lisa. I will put these in the mail for you. And thank you to everyone who participated. I always appreciate orders. Thank you so much. It's really so nice when you order with me. Okay, let's do some cards, right? All right, let me flip us around. Now, another kind of big day with Stampin' Up! Today, because we have 2 new kits, which is awesome. And I'll show you what those look like right now. And then the new online exclusives are available for customers. So that's cool too. Hi, Renee. Renee, I don't know if you saw at the beginning, but you did win this week's prize of these beautiful little gems, the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. So I don't know if you were on when we did that for the weekly prize. Okay. All right, you guys, I am in love with these 2 new kits that came out today. I placed my order this morning before work, and I had to 2-day it because I needed some other supplies from the new online exclusives, because when you're a demonstrator, you know, you can only order so many, and I needed some more for swaps for on stage next week. So I'll be getting this in 2 days. I'm excited. This one is called Welcoming Garden Kit, and look how pretty that looks with the flowers and the greenery and the gate. I think that is so pretty. And this one too, so here's the number down here. It's $23 for this kit. The other kit is Maritime Moments Kit. And I don't know if you can see up close, but it's almost watercolor little pictures with boats. Oh my God, it is so pretty. I'm just in love with this kit. I can't wait to get it. Look at that. Oh, so awesome. Okay, so this one, here's the number for that. This one's $21 for the kit. So I think they really knocked it out of the park with these 2 kits for this month. They're fabulous. All right, tonight, you guys, we're going to use from the new online exclusives that are available today. We're going to use, I think it's called the Lovely Garden Suite. The bundle is Thankful Garden. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Lisa, right? Aren't they both great kits? Okay, so here's what we're going to use. This is kind of the whole suite. So we've got some gems, we've got some ribbon, although I'm not using this ribbon, although I might look at it and see what it looks like with our project. The dies, the stamps, the paper, the masks, all very pretty. These are the cards we're going to make tonight. We're going to do this Thankful for You friend card. Pink, are you surprised? Then we're going to do this one with a hydrangea and petunia pop. So this one says with love and thanks. And then lastly, we're going to do this You Make a Difference card. You know, you could change up the sentiments. This could be a birthday card, anything you want. So kind of using a little bit different color scheme to match this paper. So this is what our card is going to be, our third card. All right, let's get making these cards. Do you guys use masks often? I think they're fun. I really had fun. The ones we had at Christmas, I thought were very pretty, and I loved them. So I was excited to get this set and try it out. So here is the stamp set. You have a hydrangea. I don't know what kind of flower this is. It's very pretty. It's a very nice stamp. And then just a few little sentiments and some miscellaneous little leaves and things. When you get the bundle, it also comes with the dies, and this is a big set of dies. So you're going to be able to cut out the hydrangea and the other flower. There's a really skinny long label, which I think is super useful. Some leaves, which I hadn't cut these out, but I bet they're absolutely beautiful when you cut them out, right? So kind of a big die set. And what's nice about this is if you stamp some of these leaves, which I didn't do, but I could have, that there's 2 dies for this and 3 dies for the little leaves. I love when they give you, oh, look at, there's 3 and 3. I love when they give you a few dies because it just saves you time running it through the machine, right? And this is shown at 75%. So when you actually look how much bigger these are in real life, right? So even the sentiments I feel like are kind of big. Jolene, I can't even pronounce that. Anemone, is that how you say it? It also comes with the masks, and these are what we're going to use first. So there's 5 masks. I've already got my Post-it tape on. I'm ready to go, and you can see I've already used and abused them. They're kind of stained, so that's what we're going to do with that. All right, so this first card, too, I have another new product that I'm using, and I am in love with these dies, like absolutely in love with these dies. Textured Notes dies. It's a group of rectangles, and every rectangle, I don't know if you can see, has a different pattern to it. So they're absolutely gorgeous. Rectangle is my favorite shape. Do you guys, anybody have a favorite shape? I was asked that once many years ago. You know, some people like circles. Rectangle, definitely my favorite. But anyway, I'm in love with these brand new dies. These are available today. There's also a stamp set that goes with it, but I don't remember what's in it exactly. I kind of do. I don't know if I have it handy. Hold on. Let me just see if I have it handy. No, I don't have it handy. But anyway, those are the dies we're going to use. Now, if you get the kit this week, I am going to cut out these shapes for you. All you have to have is the other bundle with the flowers and stuff. You don't need all the extra shape dies because I'll cut them out. So this is how it would come to you, just like this, okay? All these pieces like this. All right, so back to pink, right? I've got Melon Mambo, standard card base, 8.5, 5.5, scored a 4 1/4. What I normally put in the inside is a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white, and then I just have a little piece of DSP that I'm going to put here. Do you guys recognize this DSP? Anybody recognize it? This is from, Lisa, it was something textured. I wish I had it handy. I know I got the bundle, but I have to admit things are a little bit of a mess right now. I need to do some cleaning. So this is 5 1/4 by 4, and this beautiful paper right here is from the Ocean Friends. So super handy. All right, so that's going to be our first layer over on the card. So I'm just going to put this stuff aside because I want to get to the fun part first. Let me put it like right here so it doesn't disappear. This is the piece that we're going to do our stamping and masking on. My other layers that we have for later, I used with those rectangles. So I've got a basic black with, and the detail, you guys probably can't see it because I don't know if I'm too close, but this is like all little tiny cutouts. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then this piece is from the paper. Let me show you the paper really quick. All right, so the paper in this bundle is called Lovely Garden. And these are really pretty. You could just cut these out and not do anything and just put them on your card, right? On the other side is a nice pattern. So we've got more flowers pattern, more flowers. We're going to use this one, black and white stripes. This very little flower pattern that looks to be fresh freesia, and this leaf pattern on the back. More pretty flowers. Here's the dots. This is what we're using for this card. And then some cute little yellow flowers, and we're going to use a little bit of this as well on one of our cards. Okay. So what I did then was I just die cut this with the rectangles too, this little dotted paper for a little bit of a background. So we've got those. This is going to be the background of the label, another size of that, and then just piece of basic white that we're also going to stamp on. All right, so we'll put our sentiment on that. Okay, let's get started. I feel like I'm just jibber-jabbering, right? So I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper. And I'm just going to put down my piece. This is just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, so it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. I'm just going to secure it with a little bit of Post-it tape so it stays in place while we're working. Now this first one, I'm using 3 different colors. So I'm using 2 of the pink colors and 1 of the green color. And so how we're going to start, we're just going to do these all in order. And you can see right here, it has a number 1. Now we're going to start with this flower right here. So I'm going to kind of put it where I want it to be. And I kind of want it to be like this, although that's not how I've done them in the past, but it really doesn't matter. Let me just put it like this because we're going to die cut it. So it just really doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm going to secure this with more Post-it tape. This is just the stencil. And then what I'm going to do is get a pencil and mark. There's a little notch here, but I like to do kind of the whole thing for lining up, and I might even do a little corner down here, right? Just for lining up. So now I'm all set. I've got everything in place the way I want it, and the rest is going to be easy. So number 1, I'm going to start with Pretty in Pink. Okay, blending brush. Sorry, I got distracted. So I want this to be not too dark, this first layer. So I'm going to kind of brush off a little bit and then just start nice and light. And it doesn't have to be a perfect solid color because we want the flowers to have a little bit of I don't know, what do you want to say? Not so much texture, but variegation, something. All right, so that's it. That's all we're going to do. Oh, Lisa, I'm so excited. That's good. I'm glad you like your prize. Okay, that's it. So that's what we have so far. Number 2. Make sure this says number 2. And it, right? Okay, it does. So I'm going to line it up where we had the other one. And as I'm lining it up, I'm also looking to make sure there's not a lot of white spots right here. So that looks good. Let's get out Melon Mambo next. I've got a different blending brush. So I'm going to do 2 different, the next 2 in Melon Mambo. So the first one I want kind of light. I don't want to go crazy with the color. So I'm just going to go kind of light on this one. And it doesn't take long to do this, right? I probably went a little bit too dark on this one, but that's okay. All right. That's what we have now. All right, number 3. These go by really fast, don't they? Okay, if I could get them lined up. Okay, I think that's good. It looks like it's lined up. Okay, now this one I feel like I'm going to kind of go dark, so I'm not even going to dab any of it off. I'm just going in dark. And if you get any outside of what you're working on, it doesn't matter because we're going to die cut it. All right, am I dark enough? Do I have it the way I want it? I think so. Okay, done with the pinks. All right, time to bring in the green. We're going to do garden green next. Now, let me pull this up. And you can see how our flower looks so far, right? Pretty. Isn't that beautiful the way that comes out? I love these masks. It's just so fun. All right, number 4. Same thing, lining it up. Now, this is genius the way they did this, the way it lines up. Because you can see where the stem hits right where the flower is, both of them. It's just perfect. Now, the garden green, use any green you want. I just want garden green. And I'm going to just do 2 colors again. So I want the first one to be kind of light. So I'm kind of getting most of the extra ink off. And I'm just going to keep it not too dark. I just want to make sure all my spaces are filled, okay? It's hard for me to quit and say that's enough. You've gone far enough, okay? Looking good, right? Okay. Last one, number 5. Just double checking. I have it lined up, but now I'm just double checking to make sure that I'm happy with the placement. Let me go back to my lines. I think that's good. Don't second guess the lines, right? Advice to myself. This one, again, I want dark, so I'm just going straight in and kind of putting it on kind of heavy and dark. Easy. I think I got all the spots. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Very pretty, right? Now, you can see I got a little bit right here. Again, doesn't matter. We're going to die cut it. Okay? Before we die cut it, though, you have the option to either stamp it in black, outline, or don't stamp it. So this is how it looks just by itself. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm speaking of screens being... I lost my Facebook screen. Let me try and get it back real quick. That way I can see your comments. Okay. Anyway, this is what it looks like this. But I think it looks a little bit better with the stamp. So we're going to pull out the stamp. This is the stamp right here. Look how big it is. And you guys, I did go ahead and use the white empty stamp pad and inked it with Memento, and I think it works really well. So that's what I'm doing with the Memento Black. And I was kind of happy with the way that works, so I'm glad I did that. Thanks to you guys for recommending that. Okay, now I'm moving it down. I don't want to take it out of the screen, but I do need to kind of be over it because I want it to line up. Now, if it doesn't line up perfect, I mean, it's supposed to be kind of artsy, so it's not the end of the world. But I am going to take just a minute to make sure that I'm ballpark close. And I feel like that's pretty good. Okay. Let me hold it up and see. See how that came out with the outline? I think that's really pretty. Okay, next step, pull your big die out from the dies that I showed you and die cut it. Send it through your machine. All right, here we go, same thing. All done, and that's it. Now we can assemble this card. Wasn't that easy? I love it. I could do that all day long. All right. Oh, you know what? Let's also take our Memento and do Thankful for You, Friend. Oh, no. Too much ink. Try it again. Okay. I feel, you know what? There's like a little hair right here, which is a problem. Look at that. No bueno. Hold on. That's going in the trash. Let me pull out a different one. Third time's a charm, right? Okay. I will say I probably over inked my pad too. It's very inky. Much better without the hair or the fur or whatever it was. Little fuzzy. Okay, there might still be a little bit there, but I think it's okay. Okay, so all we're doing now is just adding layers. Let's, on the inside, I was going to also stamp nothing. Okay, so we're good. Let's just put the inside on. Inside first. I didn't get a baby wipe out yet to make sure that my hands are good. Okay, inside's done. Let's do, this layer can go on flat. I love a color combination that's just pink, black, and white. All right, let's build on this one. So we'll take this and adhere it to the black. I feel like I'm going to be using these dies like a lot. No corners sticking up. Hold on. Okay. All right, so we're going to put this down flat too, and I'm just going to add a little bit of seal. Kind of going off a little bit and near the top, just like that. Let's put some dimensionals on the back of here. Are you guys having good weather where you are? I feel like sometimes the weather map's been kind of ugly. And in Dallas, Texas, man, they had some real problems. They've had like tornado watches, and they had really high winds, like 70, 80 miles per hour. I was with for a couple days someone at the surgery center who was from Dallas, and she came down. And her flight actually got canceled the day she was supposed to come visit with us. And her flight got canceled, so she had to drive, which was like 5 hours. So All right, Sue had great weather today. That's awesome. Now, did I give you the measurements for this? This little piece of basic white is 2.5 by 1 inches. Now, it does cover up the border just a little bit, so if you wanted to trim it up just a little bit more, you could. I think it looks okay, though. I had heard because of the turbulence, they had to actually yesterday ground some flights in Dallas because the turbulence was so bad for the airplanes because of the winds. Crazy. I hate turbulence. It freaks me out a little. I'm going to be honest. It freaks me out just a little bit. I mean, you know you're going to be okay, but it still makes you hold your breath a little bit. More dimensionals. I'm going to just take this part right here and just do a little clipping of it just to make sure it doesn't come through. All right, this just right about here. Okay, now, I haven't used this ribbon in a while, have I? I don't remember, but I love this ribbon, and I thought, let's just add a little more black and white, even though it's very vanilla. I think it looks fine. And we'll just do a bow. If I can manage that. Oh, 65 is nice though, Renee, right? When you came home from work, 65, that's good. It's very lovely. Just, I feel like just seeing the sunshine sometimes is just the best. It's awesome. All right, get my right scissors here. We use a glue dot. Got all my tools put away. Got to dig everything out one at a time. Okay, and I'm just going to put the bow kind of this way right here. Are my tails too long? Maybe this one is just a tad long. Let's cut this one just a tad too. Okay, what is that? It's ribbon, more ribbon fuzz. Okay, let's just do, I just went plain rhinestone jewels. I pulled out a couple different things when I was making it and was kind of on the fence and just ended up using just our regular basic rhinestone jewels, which I thought, yeah, just a nice sparkle and don't take away from anything. So just a medium and a couple small ones. Just like that. All right, well, that was easy, right? So our first card, all finished. I hope you guys like it. I think it's really pretty. And good colors for me. Okay, hold on one second. I need a drink of water. And I want to get a baby wipe. Make sure that my hands are staying clean, especially since I'm touching these inky masks now. Okay. All right, so this is the next card we're going to make. All right, so what we're going to add for this card, put some of these things away, is the perennial postage dies. We're going to use this, this one right here, the second largest, to cut out some petunia pop. Here are our pieces for this. Okay, so petunia pop. I haven't used too much petunia pop. Here's the quarter sheet again that we're going to do more masking on. Thanks, Sue. This is the standard card base like we have, right? So it is 8.5 by 5.5. We scored it in 4 1/4, but then we also scored it at 2 1/8. And I'm just going to fold this part back, make sure it's lining up okay. And make sure it's creased nicely. Let me just check the other one because I like to make sure it's not sitting wonky. Okay, so there we go. There's our card base right there. Now this, you guys recognize where this paper is from. This is 5 1/4 by 4, and yes, it's the bee paper. Don't ask me what the official name of the bee paper is. Let me take a look. Cute as Can Be. So we're using that paper for this one. All right, so 5 1/4 by 4. This would be cute with the bees too, wouldn't it? I guess you could do bees and flowers at the same time. I wonder what that would look like. I have not really used this bee set this year. This is the first time I'm actually using this paper. This is going to go in the middle. This piece is 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, and that's going to go over on this side. I guess hydrangeas come in different colors, right? It kind of depends on the acidity, the oil and things like that. The soil acidity. Why did I say oil? Okay, so this is the perennial postage die that I talked about. So we're going to start building on that. I also have silver because I wanted to add just a tiny bit of silver. So I have this piece of silver that's going to go right in here. And let's see, it's 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. And you're going to need 2 of these because I'm doing one on the inside and one on the outside. So let me just mark that that's ×2 for when I send out my thing. All right. And then we're going to take a piece of the DSP that we're using, the Lovely Garden. And that's going to go here for this layer. And then we're going to kind of build on that. So I guess let's just put this down and have it ready. I want to make sure I had the right side. Can't talk today. Probably because that's all I did today, all day, was talk at work. Now, when I did the first card, I left a little bit skinnier of a border. You can see here how skinny this border is right here. But this one I thought I wanted just a little bit thicker so the silver shows a little more. And so we don't have crazy measurements. So this piece right here of the Lovely Garden ended up being 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. Okay, that way we stuck to kind of normal measurements instead of getting into the 16ths, which I was like, no, let's not do that. Okay, this piece of silver is also the same size as the other one, 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. And then we're going to have this piece of white that's going to go in it, and it's going to be a little bit skinnier border. And this is going to be on the inside of the card, but we're going to want to stamp on here. This is going to be the label on the outside. Again, a piece of the silver foil cardstock. And this one is 2 1/8 by 1 1/4. And then this little perennial postage die cut. All right. So we're going to stamp on this, color on this. All right. So let's leave our stamping for right now. I'm going to move this aside. Let's go ahead and do the fun part, right? So next set. So let me flip this over so we don't have to look at everything here. Same thing here, putting it down. Now this time I'm only using 2 colors, so I'm just going to use Petunia Pop and Garden Green. That's all I'm going to do. And so let me go back to the beginning and get my first one. And here's number 1. And I'm just going to set it, I think I want it right about here. So I'm just going to line it up to the edge right here. And then tape it down again. Let me do my little bit of marking, just to be sure. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing left else to mark. Okay, so let's start with Petunia Pop. And I want this one to be very light because I'm going to be doing 3 different shades of Petunia Pop. So the first one I want to be super light, which, like I said, is hard for me to do because sometimes I feel like at first I can't really see the color. And then I keep going till I can see it more. So I'm not going to go crazy. That's it. I have to make myself stop. Number 1. I tried it at first with, I think, Fresh Freesia as the first layer, and I really didn't like the way it looked. So I was like, all right, I feel like I'm going to have to do all Petunia Pop. Okay, where's my number 2? Right here. Line it up. Okay. Good. All right, here we go. We don't want this one too terribly dark. All right. Number 2, how we're looking so far. Number 3. Going dark. I think this looks really pretty in the blues too, right? The pretty blue hydrangeas. All right, good enough. Hold it up so you guys can see kind of closer how pretty that looks. Love it. Okay, leaves next. All right, number 4. Again, it just lines up perfectly. Using garden green again. And I've got ribbon all over the place here. Let me get this out of here. Okay. All right, garden green. I feel like you really can't mess this up either, right? And it's faster than coloring, right? So that's cool. And then our last one, number 5. I don't know, I feel like it's just, I'm kind of lining it up a little bit, which it's close, it's very close, right? Okay, going in dark again. Then these are easy, you can just take them to your sink and wash them off. Use a little bit of mild soap or just water even to wash them off, or you could just use the baby wipes. And if you don't feel like getting up to go all the way to the bathroom, which I admit I did that yesterday, I was like, I think I'll just baby wipe these. All right, let me just check my hands. A little outside right here again, doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. That came out really pretty, right? Awesome. Okay, let's stamp it. Let me get the black. What did I do with my Memento black? Oh, fell behind the avalanche. All right. All right, give me a second. Am I happy with that? I feel like that's pretty close. Okay, very close, if not perfect. There we go. There it is, all outlined. Okay. All right, thanks for sharing, Pam. Why does my iPad keep coming off? Hold on. I can kind of see the comments a little bit in my phone, but okay. All right, let's put it together. Take your die cut it again. Looks like that. All right, all set. All right, so let's finish our other parts too. We've got some more stamping to do. On the inside, I have this little strip. I don't know if I told you the measurements of this little strip. We're just gonna color the leaves on this side right here, okay? This is a little bit bigger because once I color it, then I can just trim off a little bit. So if your piece is a little bigger in your kit, that's why it's a little bigger. So we're just gonna do a little bit of coloring. Let me put something underneath it, another scrap. And there's no garden green, right? So I used shaded spruce. And I think I just did the light. It just takes a minute to just kind of color these images in. And I just thought it would be kind of pretty on the inside to bring some of that green back into the inside. So I'm just going to color each one of these leaves. So next week is On Stage, leaving here on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, coming home on Sunday. I am over my head in projects, though. I'm not gonna lie. I've got 5 projects going so far, and a lot of each of them. And I focused a lot on that over the weekend. And fortunately, I'd started last weekend, so I did all my die cutting and cutting last weekend. And so this weekend, I was just doing like stamping and assembly. So, and of course, everything assembly line, right? Style, just trying to get it done. But I'm excited to see the new catalog. I'm excited to see people I haven't seen for a whole year. So it should be super fun. It looks like the weather in Raleigh is going to be nice. So that'll be good. If anybody's going, come say hello. I'd love to see some people there. I want to meet some new people. Okay, I'm just going to leave it kind of the way it is. I could do a little bit of shading with the dark, but I'm not even going to do that. That's it, keeping it simple. Let's put this on here. You know what, let me stamp on here first because I'm going to do and thanks. In case I mess that up, I don't want to waste my piece of paper by putting it down first. Okay, and thanks. Sue, you're going? That's awesome. I hope to see you there. Are you doing a lot of swaps, Sue? The cards you make are beautiful. Okay, this one is going to say with love. Was going to say with love. Hold on. I've got black all over me. Let me get a different one. I've always got some extras laying around. Hold, please. All right. With love. Okay. All right, we will tack this down. Cut off the excess. I didn't have too much excess on this one. I think I was cutting them a little bit longer. Okay, so we've got that. This is going to be on the inside with our silver border. It looks like my and thanks had a little fuzzy on it too. I don't know why. Where are these fuzzies coming from? That's my question. Why do I have fuzzies on my stamps? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So we've already done this layer, so we're ready. Yeah, Sue, I haven't done a lot in the past, but I feel like this year I'm doing more than I have in the past. And I signed up for a couple swaps So I had to do those, and then I'm just doing soft stain now. Then I'm doing some stuff when we get together with the team and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're doing a big team dinner. So I got little gifts for everybody for that. So that is providing I get everything finished. That is still a big question mark. So I put this down flat right on here. Now I'm going to put some adhesive right here on the side and then center this in the middle. All right. Where is my other piece of silver that I had? I'm being very messy tonight. I'm clearly having some issues. Good thing for extras. I'm going to put this on and then pop it up. I've been using so much gold, I was determined at some point I'm going to start using some silver. Because I have a lot of silver ribbon. I have a lot of silver cardstock. All right, so this is going to go right here. Like that. Oh, I got glue on there. Making it worse. Okay. Hold on one second. Nose emergency. So, Sue, I'm on Deborah Harrison's team, and she's underneath Erica. So I'm on Erica's team, too, as her second down line. Whose team are you on? I'm Renee. It's not crafting if you don't have issues. I know, but... Okay, so this piece is going to go under here, right? So we have something to write in on our card, but we want it to line up perfectly. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put it where I want it to line up on the other side. Look, I've got all kinds of fuzzies on my nails now and glue everywhere. Okay, so I want it to line up right about here. And flip it over. Perfect, right? That's how we want it to be. Oh, okay, Sue. All right. She has a big team, right? We're doing the big, Erica's a sweet stampede, so we're doing a big team dinner. She has a lot of people on her team, too. I think 21 people from her team are going, though. So we're going to do a big dinner Thursday night, so that'll be fun. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so I got out some of this sheer white and silver trim. Oh, okay. Your direct upline. Hold on. I'm not sick. I just need a drink of water. Glue dot again. And then we just, you know what I said? Hold on. First of all, my glue dots are right in front of me, number one. Number two, we have that new ribbon. Let me see if I have it handy that coordinates with this, even though I didn't use those colors. I'm going to put this right where the stem meets the flower, right there. Let me just look really quick. So this is the new ribbon. I guess you could use it. Does it kind of coordinate a little bit? It's very skinny. I think I really like the silver ribbon better on this one, but I will find occasion to use this ribbon. It's so soft. It's so velvety. This is the ribbon that comes with the suite. Okay. All right. So this time also the, oh, okay. No, interestingly enough, Sue, how I met Deborah, it's funny because when I started Stampin' Up, I actually saw a demonstrator do a class online, and I thought, oh, I want to do that, and I ordered some product. Or I wanted to order product. So then when I was ordering it, it asked me to pick a demonstrator to order under, of course. And I wanted somebody who lived close to me, and Deborah lives like 6 minutes away, so I picked Deborah. And then that's how I became her downline. And then, of course, she's under Erica, who also lives in Helotes, which is like, at the time, Erica lived like, I don't know, 15 minutes away from me. Now she lives like 20, 25 minutes, you know, since she moved to her new house. So it's a little bit further to go for the team meetings, but I mean, it's not far. Let's be honest, it's not far. So anyway, it's fun. I like being a part of 2 different teams, and Deborah's a fabulous upline. She's so awesome, and she's so helpful. And Erica, of course, is great too. So I'm super happy. I love, love, love Stampin' Up! And all the fun that we're having. Okay, you guys, that's it. We finished it, right? Card number 2. There we go. This is a fun set, right? Okay, last card. Now, you guys know, if you know me at all, this last card is a little bit out of my, I don't know. These are not the bestest colors, right? For me. I'm not a fan of green. That's it. Thank you. Green is not one of my colors. Would it be terrible if I said maybe because it was my brother's favorite color when we were growing up? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Never been a super fan of green. I mean, I like different shades of green, but just like your regular plain old primary green, not a fan. Okay. So anyway, this is not a typical card for me, but you know, sometimes you just gotta step out of the box and try something different, right? So another new product. This is Fancy Borders dies. We've had border die sets in the past, and I really like this one. So I took this die right here, and we're going to use that just to cut the edge right out of it. Of course, my favorite stylish shape dies, biggest circle, biggest square, we're going to use for that. Another new stamp set, Elements of Text. Do you guys love this one? I thought it was so pretty, and this part fits the largest circle die, fits perfectly with it, so that's what we're doing. Okay, last card, you guys. Starting with thick basic white. So the measurements for this are, I started with 10 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I scored it at 5 1/2 here, right? So just measure into 5 1/2. Or you could just, you know, do the quarter sheet, the half sheet like we normally do, 4 1/4 by 11. The main important part is you're going to take that die, and let me pull it so I can show you how I did it. Just open up your card, line it up like this, and I lined it up so, you know, I kind of gridded it out on my die cut, you know, and make sure that this part was kind of in the middle, so it looked nice, right? So you're just going to take it and put it through your die cutting machine, and then this bottom part's going to fall off, and you're going to have this beautiful edge, right? So that's going to be your card base like that. So this is approximately, it looks like about 1 inch from the edge. Let me measure it. Yeah, it's about 1 inch from the edge of this side, right? That you have this little cut. All right. So that's our card base. Now we've got some layers to go on it. We'll start with the layers. I have crushed curry. Also a card color I don't use very much, crushed curry. So this is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. Lisa, that's so funny. She said they were doing their dining room in green. At the last second, she hated it. We went yesterday and picked blue hues. That's awesome. I can't see the rest of your comment. Let me see. Blue Heather from Benjamin Moore. I'm so in love with it. Isn't that something? All right, so I'm just going to kind of center this. Next, I have a piece of that same designer series paper. And this piece is 4 by 4. Okay. All right, next layer. The Stylish Shapes layers. All right, so we have crushed curry again, and the largest square, I'm just putting it as a diamond. And I'm just putting all of these layers down flat to start with. And this almost goes pretty much point to point, right? So we've got that. All right. This circle we're going to stamp on. This we're going to stamp on. I have this little die from the set. We're going to stamp on that. And then I just have these miscellaneous other pieces, and I'll show you that once we finish with our stamping. Okay, so we're going to do that first flower again, and this time we're going to color instead of doing... again, it doesn't matter because we're going to die cut it. Instead of doing the masks, we're just going to color it. So we have that. We're going to do You Make a Difference on that very, very skinny die cut. All right, we've got that. And then we're going to do the texture. And this is quite the large die, right? With the pretty little texty words on there. That's going to be on our circle. So let me get something, get a piece of scrap paper out again. Flip it around because I want to make sure it's flat when I'm stamping. Ink that up and go right over the circle. This, I feel like this is very kind of bulky to use, but now you could stamp it and then die cut it too if you wanted. If you're getting the kit, it's going to be die cut for you. Now I kind of lifted it and set it back down, so it came out a little bit weird, but does it really matter? I don't think so. I think it looks fine. Okay, let's put that aside. Very little coloring we're going to do to this. So basically, I'm taking Daffodil Delight because Crushed Curry is another one we don't have blends for. And I'm basically just coloring on the inside of the flowers, just like this. So not too much coloring. And this is the dark Daffodil Delight. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of lines where they have the lines, again in Daffodil. Just bringing a little bit of that color out. Then I'm just going to take my light and blend that just a little bit out. Just like this. Nothing fancy. I still want the majority of it white, and I may add just a little bit of the light over here on the edges of these flower leaves, just like that. So that's all we're going to do with the yellow. All right, the green, going back to the shaded spruce. And we're just going to do the leaves and the stems. And I'm using the light to start with. And these are not complete images. You can see how there's like parts that have gaps, and I just color them like they don't have gaps. Okay, and then the dark, I'm just going to add a little bit, kind of messy, just blend it in for the middles, and that's it, okay? So do the leaves, do the stems, and then die cut it. Same die cut that we used before. And then we have this all die cut out after it's colored, okay? Just another way to do it. All right, let's put it together. Okay, so pieces we have left. We have this piece, which we're going to do flat, just like the other ones. Gosh, my glue's even fighting me tonight. So that's going to go in the middle here. I'm going to pop this flower up. I'm over dimensionaling here, but that's okay. Ugh. I can't do it tonight. I just can't. I can't. All right, I'm putting the flower right about here, and that's popped up. I'm going to cut it off down here. Let's just try that way. Let me see what that's going to look like. So this piece of crushed curry I'm just going to back up behind the one that we die cut and put the words on stamped. And so how is that going to look right here? I think that's fine. Or do I want it up more? I feel like I want it up more. So what I did originally was I kind of cut along the edge of the circle. So I think I want to do that again. And it's going to be covered up with the words, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right. I didn't play with the green glue at all today. I did plenty of that over the weekend. All right, dimensionals, little ones. One here. And I'll just put them on the end here. And wherever they land, they land. Come on. That's going to go right about there. Hopefully straight. All right, so on the inside, we're just doing 2 layers, and these are the 2 layers that we have. We're leaving this here. You can write whatever you want, this white part right here. So this last piece of crushed curry is 4 1/8 by 1 1/4. 4 1/8 by 1 1/4. And yes, Renee, I don't know, is over dimensionalizing a thing? It might be. That's funny. And then this last piece of Lovely Garden is 4 by 1 1/8. So we'll just layer these up here. Hold on. Get it a little bit closer to the edge right there. Like, my measurement must be off on this because there's a little bit of a skinnier side, which I just can't have it. I'm going to have to get my scissors and just cut a little slice off, hopefully straight, or that's going to be a whole nother thing, right? Okay. Okay. There we go. Gonna look like this. Let's add a little bit of embellishment. So this is a new ribbon. It's just called White Ribbon, and it's got a nice texture. It's skinny. It's a really pretty sheen to it too, and in addition to texture. So we'll do a bow out of that. You love a good white ribbon, right? Especially this is a good size, width, and you can color it any color you want with your blends. So super handy to have. It does fray a little bit at the end. I did notice that. But I'll try not to rough it up too much. All right, so I want the bow right at the tip right here. I'm still playing. All right. Just like that. All right, and then I'm going back to those same little embellishments that we used before, which are called the Starburst Sequins. I don't know if I said that before because I was talking. I'm gonna try not to get my little glue on there, so I'm just gonna lift it up here and add a couple of these sequins to coordinate. Let's do another big one down here. Okay, we did it. We finished our 3rd card. All right, so that's it. It just opens up like that. All right, let me bring in the cards that we made tonight. So I hope you like the cards. I think it's a fun new set to play with, which I love. Here's the host code. If you want the kit to make these cards tonight, one of each, place an order of $35 or more at my website by Saturday. The host code B2CDH3VU, and I'll send it to you for free. I'll do all the die cutting except for the stuff in the bundle. You'll get the little embellishments, you'll get the ribbon. You can also just purchase it for $20. Just email me and I'll send you an invoice. Super easy, okay? Here's my email up here, sunshineandsparklesstamping@gmail.com. So here are our cards in all our pretty different colors, lots of fun flowers. Thank you guys for joining me. If you would like the instructions, I do a project and measurement sheet every week. If you're on my email list, this will go out in tomorrow morning's email, and it gives you all the measurements and just little pictures so you can kind of see it as you're crafting along. It's got pictures of these 2 new garden kits if you want to take a look at that. If you're not on my email list and you don't want to be, that's fine. Just email me and I'll be happy to send it to you. No problem at all. Don't forget about Paper Pumpkin. Really fun set till the 10th of March to order that. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Thanks so much. I'm not going to be here next week because we have on stage, so I'm not going to, and I have jury duty on Monday too, so not going to be here next week, but I will see you guys the week after that, and I think we'll be doing calendar classes the week after that because it's time to get our April, May, and June calendars together. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.